Hello everyone, I hope you guys are all having a fabulous day. Today I wanted to share my entire Chanel handbag collection and rank them from most to least used. I will also be incorporating mod shots towards the end. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure and give it a thumbs up. And without further ado, let's get started, shall we? Taking the #1 spot with most used is my medium large with the black quilted caviar leather and the silver hardware. What I love most about this bag is how comfortable it is. Whether I'm using it for a short amount of time or an extended period of time, it doesn't end up digging into my shoulders or anything like that. It ends up fitting all of my essentials with ease. And I can't really end up pulling this bag off crossbody. It looks a little bit odd on my body frame. I do prefer to use it as a single strap, but I also like the fact that I can double it up so it adds a little bit more versatility. So that's always nice. But one of the questions that I get asked the most, people want to know if it is my most used because of the silver hardware. It's not because of the silver hardware. It has more to do with the size of it and just goes back to the whole comfort thing. And I'll be honest with you, if this bag had the gold hardware, I would end up using it just the same. And when it comes to Chanel, that's actually my favorite combination, black and gold, which you will see quite a bit throughout this video. But still, whether it's silver, gold, or any other type of hardware, I am just a big fan of this size. So the medium large and the black quilted caviar leather and the silver hardware. The next one is technically a small leather good, but I think the majority of us end up using it as a handbag, and I am talking about the wallet on chain with the black quilted caviar leather and the gold hardware. This has got to be one of my best purchases of all time. I know some people aren't a big fan of this. They think it's small. I do think it's small, but it ends up packing a punch because it does have the built-in credit card slot, so I feel that you can really end up maximizing your space. I love the fact that it's versatile. You can transition easily from day to night, and whether you want to use this crossbody or as a little mini handbag, as a clutch, as a wallet, I feel that there's so many different ways that you can end up incorporating a wallet on chain into your lifestyle. And one of my favorite things about this is, or one of my favorite ways to carry it is actually whenever we travel, because I can use it crossbody and I feel like it doesn't end up attracting too much attention and I could still end up carrying my essentials. So, I mean, I could talk about this thing until the cows come home. Am I gonna do that? No, but still, it is one of my favorite, one of my best purchases of all time. The wallet on chain in the black quilted caviar leather and the gold hardware. Even though I've had this one for a little under a year, in that amount of time, it's become one of my most used. And I am talking about the Reissue in the 226 with a black aged calfskin and the antique gold hardware. This bag right here is giving a lot of the other handbags within my collection a run for their money. I absolutely love it. There are so many things that I appreciate about it. I love the history. I like the fact that it's understated. I also appreciate the wrinkles. I know some people aren't a big fan of the wrinkles, but I feel like the more wrinkles it has, the more it starts to age, the more I end up loving it. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it does to me. And don't even get me started on how comfortable it is. For it being a, medium to large size handbag and an all leather handbag, it is very comfortable. It doesn't dig into your shoulder, especially if you end up carrying a little bit more. And the opening is very generous. You can see everything at a glance, so I appreciate that immensely. But I mean, I love this bag. I absolutely love it. And I just feel like every time I use it, I grin like an idiot from ear to ear. So the Reissue and the 226 with the black aged calfskin and the antique gold hardware definitely has become one of my most used. And I do feel that this might be, as the years go by, the longer I have this, it might end up being my most used of all time. Who knows? But I absolutely love it. Remember, I said that you're going to be seeing quite a bit of black and gold, but my next one is the mini rectangular and the black quilted lambskin leather and the champagne gold hardware. I was always really afraid of lambskin leather. I thought that it was very delicate. I thought that it would end up scratching very easily, and that hasn't been the case. I've had this guy for a little under 2 years, and in my opinion, it has been wearing fabulously, and I haven't had issues with scratches or anything like that. And it is deceiving because even though it is quite small, it still packs a punch. And in my opinion, I feel that the mini rectangular is very similar to the wallet on chain as far as how much they can end up carrying. Of course, the biggest difference is that with the mini rectangular, you end up having to carry a wallet, but you can still end up maximizing your space quite easily. And of course, the wallet on chain just ends up being a little bit longer when you go to use it crossbody than when it comes to the mini rectangular. But I'm a big fan of these little guys, and I also feel that they're very versatile and it's very easy to transition from day to night as well. So the mini rectangular and the black quilted lambskin leather and the champagne gold hardware. Next, the Deauville in the size large and the gray raffia material with the silver hardware. This bag surprised me. I was a little bit nervous when I first got it just because I thought that maybe it would end up losing its structure a little too easily. You guys know how I feel about structured handbags. However, I do end up using a purse organizer, and that really helps to keep it shape and keep it in the upright position. And you know how I feel about totes. I love totes. The bigger the bag is, the more I want to throw in there. I also like the fact that I can use this on the crook of my arm. I can use it as a hand carry bag or on my shoulder. I'm not limited to just to carrying it one way. And this material has been amazing. I haven't had any issues with wear and tear. I haven't had any problems with staining or color transfer or anything like that. And I really thought that I would get color transfer or some type of staining on the bottom, especially because I do put this bag through the wringer. But as you can see, no issues whatsoever. So this raffia material is absolutely amazing. But the Chanel Deauville in the size large and the gray raffia material with the silver hardware, absolutely love it. The next one is very similar to one you already saw. It is a mini rectangular in the black quilted caviar leather with a champagne gold hardware. What can I say? I love these little guys. I think that they're awesome. But I do also like to use the mini with the caviar whenever we are traveling because, like I said previously, it is very similar to a wallet on chain. And because it is caviar, I find it to be a lot more carefree, and I don't have to necessarily worry about the type of weather that we're landing in or we're traveling in or anything like that. So the mini rectangular in the black quilted caviar leather with a champagne gold hardware. Now for a little bit of color. The mini rectangular in the dark pink caviar with the silver hardware. This color is incredibly difficult to capture because sometimes it looks a little bit more red, other times it looks a little bit more muted. It really depends on the lighting, but in real life it's more of a raspberry. I feel like that's the best way that I can describe it, but I think it is absolutely beautiful. I love the fact that it does have the silver hardware. I think it makes for a really nice combination with the red, and I also like the fact that it adds a little bit of variety to my Chanel collection because the majority are black and gold, but I think it's the perfect pop of color, and you guys know how I feel about the color red. So the mini rectangular and the dark pink caviar leather with the silver hardware. Besides red, my other favorite color is pink, so this guy won't be a surprise. The mini rectangular and the pink lambskin leather with the silver hardware. This color, I mean, to me, it just screams Barbie. That's why I dubbed it Barbie. But it's not too hot pink, it's not too muted, it's not like Pepto-Bismol pink either. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if the camera's doing it any justice, probably not. It looks like it's a little bit lighter, actually, but I just think it is so incredibly beautiful. I haven't had any issues with color transfer. However, I am a little bit more mindful as to the type of clothing that I'm wearing because I do have a tendency to wear a lot of dark colored clothing. So I do tend to kind of go around that a little bit. So I know that this is going to be a bag that I will use quite a bit, you know, for spring and for upcoming summer as well. Just because I think it's, I don't know, it adds a really nice type of like freshness to the outfit, plus that pop of pink. I mean, you can't go wrong, right? So the pink mini rectangular and the lambskin leather with the silver hardware. It's discontinued, it's a beauty, it's a forever bag. The GST or the Grand Shopping Tote in the black quilted caviar leather with the gold hardware. This bag, I still love it. I still love it, and it is a forever bag like I mentioned. I've had it for 5 or 6 years if I'm not mistaken, and I really like the CC on the front. I think it adds a really nice detail to it. You know, it gives it a little bit more character. It's a tote, it's quite generous. You can see everything at a glance, and I also like this little zip compartment there. When I go to use this on my shoulder, I do have a tendency to kind of crisscross the straps so that they can stay on my shoulder, because otherwise I feel like they end up sliding off maybe a little bit easier. But I just think that this bag is absolutely incredible. And I really wish, I mean, I know that they have bags that are very similar to this in the boutiques now, but I really wish that they would bring it back because I think it's one of a kind. And I also like just the attention to detail on the hardware, I think is awesome. I don't know, call me crazy, but I will always, always love the GST or the Grand Shopping Tote. Next up, another Deauville, but this is in the color pink, and this is actually in the combination raffia material, so it is raffia with another type of fabric, and also the silver hardware. This is also in the size 30, so the large size, and I think that between the two materials, with the one that I previously showed you guys, this one actually ends up being a little bit sturdier. This one I feel doesn't necessarily lose its shape as much, even though I do end up using a purse organizer in this one. I still feel that if you were to take it out, it wouldn't end up turning into a beautiful mess as easily as the other one. but I really like the fact that it does have the metallic threading throughout the front where it says Chanel. I think that's really, really nice. And this one I feel like I end up using the most in the spring and in the summer, just because it adds that nice freshness, like I said previously, that nice pop of color, and it's not too bright either. I also haven't had any issues with color transfer or anything like that. So the large Deauville in the color pink with the combination raffia material and the silver hardware. I bet you thought this one was going to be at the end. I am talking about the Laboy bag in the new medium size and the ruthenium hardware. This bag, I have quite the love-hate relationship. A lot of you know that if you've been watching my channel for a while, and sometimes I love it, other times it drives me nuts. But I have noticed that ever since I started carrying it this way, with the leather part of the strap on the bottom of the bag, it makes it that much easier for me to enjoy, because I feel like it's not constantly rolling off of my shoulder, you know? So this has really been a game changer for me, so I have used it a lot more often than ever before, you know? And I really like the details. I love the double stitching. I think it adds a lot of character. It adds a lot of personality to the bag. It's edgy, but it's not, you know? And I really like the new medium size because it's still quite generous. I feel like you can still end up carrying quite a few items inside. I feel like you end up carrying maybe as much, if not a tad more than you would in the medium large. But yeah, so this bag, we go, I feel like it's a roller coaster ride, you know? Sometimes I'm all about it and other times I'm like, get it away from me. Am I gonna get rid of it? Absolutely not. So who understands the craziness, right? So the Laboy bag in the new medium size with a bleach calfskin and the ruthenium hardware. This next bag was my holy grail. It was a bag that I had been wanting to get for such a long time, and it's kind of crazy to see where it lands on this list, but I am talking about the Jumbo Classic Double Flap with the black quilted caviar leather and the gold hardware. I absolutely love this bag. I think it is beautiful. Like I said, it was my holy grail. However, I don't really end up reaching for it. I don't end up gravitating for it as much just because it ends up being a little too heavy. And I can't really get away with using it for an extended period of time, because then I feel that it ends up kind of digging into my shoulder a little more than I would like. Or even if I go to use it cross body, it still ends up digging into my skin. So it's not the most comfortable, you know, as opposed to some of the other ones that I have shared with you, you know, but I still think it's beautiful. Do I regret this purchase? Not at all. Not at all, because I do use it sporadically, you know, and when I do, I still enjoy it. I just can't necessarily use it for 10 plus hours or what have you without it being very noticeable on my skin or on my shoulder, you know, but I still think it is an absolutely gorgeous bag. It fits, I mean, a crazy amount of items. And of course, the more that you end up fitting in there, the heavier it'll get, but it is still beautiful nonetheless. So the Jumbo Double Classic Flap in the black quilted caviar leather with the gold hardware. Now that we're at the very end, the last one might surprise some of you guys. And the craziest thing is that I've already talked about this silhouette. I've already said how amazing it is, but I don't use this one in specific. I think I use it maybe twice a year. And I am talking about the wallet on chain in the red caviar, the classic red caviar with the silver hardware. Like I said before, I'm a huge fan of the wallet on chain, but when push comes to shove, I almost always end up going for the black one. And the red one, I mean, I think that this red is beautiful. It looks a little bit more like a brick red. Like I said, it is the classic caviar red that they have. But I don't know, I don't really end up using it. I have no idea why. I end up using my red mini or my pink mini if I want that pop of color, but very, very rarely do I end up reaching for this one. I feel like the most that I end up using this bag is on 4th of July. I absolutely love it during the 4th of July, but other than that, yeah. It ends up sitting there, you know, and will I sell it? I don't think so. I don't think so, because I haven't detached from it, you know? I'm not like at that point yet, but yeah, I'm a big fan of walks. I think that they're fantastic. I think that they're versatile, but yeah, the red one, I don't really end up using it. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but out of all the Chanel bags that I own, this is the one that gets used the least. Alright you guys, so that does it for my entire Chanel handbag collection. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope I was able to give you a little bit more information, especially if you're looking to add some of these bags to your collection. But again, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red button down below and hitting that bell so you're notified when I upload videos, which is anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week, and I'll see you guys later. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not, the choice is yours. Have a great day.